I'm Reverend Malonde Ozier, Director at EHCC, and today, the youth are tackling problem gambling. Take a listen.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Dialogue podcast. I'm Mahaley and I'm here with my co-host Felipe. Today, we're talking about two important topics that affect a lot of young people: problem gambling, what causes it, how it impacts people, and how it can be prevented. And also the pressure many people feel to have their life figured out at a young age. Even though these seem like two different topics, they actually connect in some ways, especially when it comes to stress, pressure, and coping with life challenges. Let's start by talking about problem gambling. Felipe, why do people get addicted?
People can become addicted to gambling because it activates the brain reward system, which creates excitement and a high, which makes people want to keep chasing that feeling even when they're losing money. Over time, it can weaken self-control and make it really hard to stop.
In your opinion, how does winning more than losing affect someone's thoughts about problem gambling?
To be honest, winning more than losing can make someone underestimate the risks of problem gambling because it reinforces the idea that they are good at it or in control. Thinking can lead them to keep betting more often and in larger amounts, increasing the chance of developing a serious gambling problem.
Why is gambling popular around the US?
Gambling is popular because it's very accessible now, especially with apps and online betting. It's also heavily advertised and tied to sports and entertainment, which makes it feel exciting and normal.
Now, why do people get emotional about problem gambling? Why do you think people put all their life savings into problem gambling?
In my opinion, I think it's because people chase losses or believe one big win will fix everything. When gambling becomes addictive, emotions take over and people stop thinking clearly about the long-term consequences.
Does stress or personal life play a role in gambling addiction?
Yes, definitely. Some people use gambling to escape stress or personal problems, but that can actually make things worse because it turns into a coping habit.
Now, how does winning money affect someone's thinking?
Winning can make people feel confident and like they're in control. That feeling can lead them to take bigger risks and gamble more often.
What are the effects of problem gambling, and how can it impact a person's family, school, life, or friendships?
It can impact almost every area of life. It can cause financial stress, emotional struggles, and changes in behavior. With family, it can create conflict and break trust. In school or work, it can lead to poor performance and a lack of focus. Friendships can also suffer because of secrecy, lying, or prioritizing gambling over relationships.
So how can someone get help for problem gambling? What are some safe ways to ask for help or support?
Someone can talk to a trusted friend, family member, counselor, or mental health professional. Support groups like Gamblers Anonymous and helplines are also helpful because they offer private and judgment-free support.
And how can problem gambling be prevented? What advice would you give to teens about gambling?
I'd say be careful because gambling can quickly go from something fun to something harmful. It's important to understand that the odds are not in your favor and it should never be seen as a way to make money.
So how can schools or communities help raise awareness?
Schools and communities can help raise awareness by educating students about how gambling works, including the risks, odds, and signs of problem behavior. They can also host workshops, invite guest speakers, and include discussions about peer pressure and media influence so young people can recognize warning signs early. Community programs and school counselors can also provide safe spaces for support, helping reduce stigma and encouraging people to ask for help when needed.
So now on to our last question. Why is it important to recognize the problem early?
It's important to recognize problem gambling early because the sooner it's identified, the easier it is to stop the behavior before it escalates. Early awareness can prevent serious consequences like financial debt, mental health struggles, and damaged relationships from becoming long-term problems. Now that we've talked about the pressures and emotional effects of gambling, we want to shift into another type of pressure many young people face, feeling like they need to have life figured out at a young age.
Now that we've talked about problem gambling, let's shift into another type of pressure that affects a lot of young people, feeling like you need to have your entire life figured out early on. Felipe, do you think society puts too much pressure on people to have life figured out at a young age?
That's a good question. Yes, I think society puts a lot of pressure on people to have everything figured out at a young age. People now are expected to know their career path and goals early, even though life doesn't work in a straight line. Social media, family expectations, and school all add to that pressure, making people feel like they're behind when they're actually just starting.
So where do you think that pressure mostly comes from? Is it family, school, social media, or something else?
It mostly comes from social media, family, and school. Social media makes it easy to compare yourself to others. Family can have expectations, and school often pushes students to choose a career path early.
And at what age do you think people start feeling pressure to have it all together?
It usually starts in the late teens, around 16 to 18, when people start thinking about college and careers, but it can continue into the 20s and even 30s because everyone moves at a different pace.
And have you ever felt behind in life compared to others?
Yes, I have, because I tend to see people doing better than me at my age or even younger than me, and it makes me feel bad.
What do you think made you feel that way?
I think it comes from comparing myself to others and feeling like I should be at the same stage as them, even though everyone's journey is different.
Do you think social media makes people compare themselves more? Why or why not?
Yes, because social media mostly shows highlights, success, vacations, and good moments. It doesn't show struggles, so it creates an unrealistic picture of everyone else's life.
And how do you stop yourself from comparing your journey to someone else's?
I try to remind myself that people only show their best moments online. I focus on my own progress and try to see other success as inspiration instead of pressure.
What does having your life together mean to you?
To me, it doesn't mean being perfect. It means being responsible, working towards goals, and taking care of yourself while still learning and growing.
Do you think someone can still be struggling and still have their life together?
Yes, everyone struggles at different points in life. Having your life together is more about how you handle challenges, not about having a perfect life.
And do you think it's okay to not know what you want to do in your late teens or 20s?
Yes, it's completely okay. Those years are meant for exploring and learning. A lot of people change paths multiple times, and that's normal.
So what advice would you give to someone who feels lost or unsure about their future?
I'd say don't pressure yourself to have everything figured out. Focus on small steps, try new things, and remember that everyone moves at their own pace.
Do you think anyone truly has life figured out?
No, I don't think anyone fully has it figured out. People might look like they do, but everyone is still learning and adjusting as life changes.
Do you think people pretend to have it together more than they actually do?
Yes, a lot of people only show the good parts of their lives, especially on social media. Most people are dealing with challenges behind the scenes.
Now, how has your idea of success changed as you've gotten older?
Success used to feel like money or status, but now I think it's more about happiness, stability, and personal growth.
Now, on to our last question. What is one thing you wish more young adults understood about life?
I wish more young adults understood that it's okay to not have everything figured out. Life isn't a straight path, and everyone grows at their own pace.
That brings us to the end of today's episode of the Mindful Dialogue podcast. Today, we discussed problem gambling, what causes it, how it affects people, and ways to seek help and prevention. We also talked about the pressure many people feel to have life figured out at a young age and why it's okay to move through life at your own pace. If you or someone you know is struggling with gambling, support is available. You can call the Problem Gambling Hotline at 1-800-327-5050 or contact the Everett Haitian Community Center at 857-399-5375. Thanks for listening. Remember, growth takes time, comparison isn't the full picture, and nobody has everything figured out. We'll see you next time.
That's a wrap on this episode and segment of the Mindful Dialogue podcast. If you enjoyed the program, please leave a review or share the show. It helps more people find us. And if you know anyone who might have a problem gambling, contact Everett Haitian Community Center at 857-399-5375 or call the Problem Gambling Hotline 1-800-327-5050. Stay blessed.